So as I was saying that in this current scenario, every minute is important to save lives. Indian Customs is ensuring that all the COVID related shipments, whether they are coming from foreign countries as aid or donations, or the regular shipments that are being imported are which contain medical devices and equipments, life-saving drugs are being cleared expeditiously within minutes so that they can reach their destination for the intended use. Further, all such COVID-related shipments are being monitored right from the board to the CC office in the commissionerate. At every level, these shipments are being monitored, and every day there are meetings and updates, and the ground situation feedback is taken so that more facilitation measures can be taken up. Also, customs is available on social media where they are providing information and also handling the grievances for people who have sent their shipment to courier or cargo. So basically, whatever presentation I have prepared, most of the information is available on the CBIC website and in public domain. However, I have tried to arrange them in a simple manner so that maximum audience can understand all these measures, as well as they can understand how the customs is functioning at this moment and where to reach and whom to reach whenever they have any issue. So I will just start the presentation. Basically, as everybody knows, there are these three modes of import. Other than these three, there is also land. To land also the goods can come, but as of now, the most preferred mode is by air, considering that to save time in all these shipments. So the distinguishing feature between all this, the distinguishing feature between all these modes is dependent on the speed by which the consignments are sent from one country to another, the cost or the freight which is being taken for these shipments, and the quantity. So basically, if the shipments are to be sent by the courier or post, they can be sent in a very fast manner. Uh, at the same time, the freight cost will be very high, and therefore the number of items sent, for example, like oxygen concentrator or any other item, will be very less in number. And most of the items sent by courier or post are for personal use. Uh, in comparison, the cargo handles mostly the commercial shipments. Large quantities of goods are sent, and the importers are mainly the manufacturers and traders who are importing these goods. In the current scenario, even the hospitals as well as the NGOs, charitable trusts are also importing these consignments. As far as sea is concerned, as of now, there are very less shipments related to COVID, but in future it can also play a big role. Considering now as the time is very less and the time taken by sea transport would be much more. So, who can import the COVID related material? Basically, now, as of now, what I can see is the individuals who are sending the couriers these items from abroad. They are importing through courier channel. Then these air cargo manufacturers, the traders, as well as the charitable trust, NGOs, Red Cross, then various hospitals, and also the state government and central government are importing. So now, as of now, all these people are playing a very important role in importing the COVID-related shipments. One of the key requirement for filing a bill of entry or to import is to have an import-export code. The import-export code, uh, many times I have been asked by the these NGOs or the charitable trust that they do not have uh, this IC code if they want to import the donation material from abroad. So as of now, this IC code can be applied online on DGFT website, and I have been told it is real time. You will get the IC number, and within few hours it will be linked to the custom system. So that process is very fast as of now. Other option is there are number of permanent IC numbers. This includes for personal or individual, you can use a static IC or standard IC number. Similarly, for government and also for the NGOs and the charitable trust who are importing duty-free material under exemption, they also have a separate permanent IC number which they can use if they do not have their own IC. Other than that, the customs procedure is of import starts with filing of the bill of entry and other custom related clearances. These are mostly facilitated by the custom house agents, and they play a very important role in making these clearances expeditiously. They are well versed with all the customs laws and procedures. So their services are mostly availed by the importers for their clearances. As everybody may have a bit of knowledge about the customs clearance procedures. It starts with when the goods are landed, the carrier or the airline people, they file the import general manifest. After that, the bill of entry nowadays can be filed prior, and they has to be filed before the arrival or on the date of the arrival of goods, after which late fees start. So basically, advance bill of entry is filed, then most of the custom procedures in advance assessment, and when the goods arrive, the remaining procedures can be completed. So there is advantage in also filing the bills prior or on the date of the arrival of the cargo. Bill of entry is basically the import document, and the custom appraisement procedure consists of this assessment based on the CTH, the declared description of the goods and the value of the goods. And after the assessment procedure, the goods are sent for examination. In the assessment and examination also, in case of COVID related goods, it is being seen that 95% of these COVID related shipments are passed through RMS, and hence there is full facilitation. There is no assessment by the appraising officer. It is system assessed, and the examination is also not there. So basically, even if the goods are sent to FAG, which is Faceless Assessment Group, and in case of non-facilitated or non-RMS bill of entries, there also nodal officers like me and other nodal officers, we coordinate with each other and ensure that the bills of entry which are gone to other ports are immediately assessed and sent back to the local port for further procedure. So in whether RMS or not RMS, the customs is trying to clear the goods expeditiously. Further, the even in case of RMS, before even if party has not paid the duty, the customs compliance verification is done beforehand, and after that, automated clearances are given on payment of duty. As far as air cargo is concerned, we have also started examination of the goods and out of charge and delivery of the goods 24/7, that is on holidays, and also in the night also we have kept our officers for this work considering the COVID challenges. Further, these are the simple steps for filing the bill of entry, where you mentioned the description, the classification of the goods, There is also an option to file a Kacha bill of entry, where for shipments of Red Cross or the goods requiring special storage conditions like vaccines, life-saving drugs, plasma, etc., whereby
There is no QC
all these
percentage.
goods will be cleared immediately, and the delivery will be done immediately. Further, at Air Cargo, we have also started the system of monitoring all the COVID-related bill of entries, by which the importer can fill in the Google form, giving all the details of the bill of entry, and the same will be monitored by our officers for expeditious clearance. So same thing has also been replicated at CBIC level, and on CBIC website also such Google form is available, so that pre-intimation of the COVID related items can be given, and the same can be monitored for clearance by the customs. Now currently the goods which are being imported are covered either by the duty exemptions given by the government. The notification 27/28 cover the above goods such as oxygen concentrators and oxygen generating plants, equipments related to storage, distribution, and transportation of oxygen, ventilators, COVID-19 vaccine, then drugs such as remdesivir, then API of remdesivir and beta-cyclodextrin, and inflammatory diagnostic kits. In this, all these goods are exempt from customs duty, basic customs duty, and also there is IGST exemption on some conditions which have been specified by the other notification ad hoc exemption. The other goods are dutiable, but they are also being treated in similar manner, and the clearance of these goods also is in par with all the other above goods of exempted category. So the oximeters, thermometer, masks, or medical equipment, their parts, life-saving drugs are cleared very expeditiously by the customs. These are some of the permissions and regulatory mechanisms which govern the import of the goods. So the oxygen concentrators, ventilators, oximeters, they don't require any ADC or license from the ADC. However, the APIs, drugs, thermometers, CT scan machine, test kits require ADC NOC. The office of the ADC is in cargo itself, and it is connected to the ICS system. So the NOC is online. Other than that, the charitable institution and NGOs, when they are exempted from payment of duty by the notification by Ministry of Finance, and the goods are to be used for free, they don't require any license, but they have to take a NOC from the DCGM. In case of Red Cross, imports by Red Cross, as of now, all permissions have been deemed to be given to them. So they don't have to take any permission. Also, the other agencies which are like the PESO, which give license to oxygen cylinders and cryogenic tankers. So they have also increased their level of facilitation, and their procedures have been simplified. And in their case, they are giving online approvals without physical inspection. As far as personal imports are concerned, the oxygen concentrators require no license, but life-saving drugs, they have to fill Form 12A, and medical devices Form MD20 for personal use. This require ADC permission, and this form can be filled up on the given website of CDSCO. The permission can be taken, and the goods can be, the drugs and the devices can be imported. Further, the customs is also coordinating with all the agencies such as this drug controller or the PESO or DGFT, so that all these goods, wherever there is any blockage or wherever there is any issue because of which it is being delayed, the same can be resolved and the goods can be cleared immediately. The basic custom duty benefit has been given by notification number 27, 28 and 27. And then there is this 28 also. So in this case, the BCD is exempted in case of drugs such as remdesivir injection, API for injection, which are oxygen concentration, oxygen related is covered under exemption notification number 28. Their validity is mentioned here, one is 31st October, another is 31st July. So other than this, there is ad hoc IGST exemption also, whereby the goods mentioned in the about the earlier two notification can get IGST exemption, provided the goods have been imported free of cost for COVID relief and are also distributed freely in India. For this purpose, a state nodal officer has been nominated by the Maharashtra government, and who issues this certificate, based on which the goods are charged nil rate of IGST. As per one of the conditions, the certificate has to be provided to the customs from the nodal officer, state nodal officer, and also after 6 to 9 months, the distribution details have to be certified and given by the from the state nodal authority. These are the details of the state nodal officer, as well as the link on CBIC website giving all the state nodal authorities, the details of their contact numbers and email IDs.
आदेन मीटिंग
Further,
अटेंड करायला
as far as
मीटिंग
customs
आहे
is concerned,
ती
as
चालू
I have already
कोविड चे
said that
रिलेटेड
they are
customs
doing 24/7 clearances. In the night also, the examination and assessment out of charge is being taken care of, whether in file kacha bill of entry or regular bill basis. For the most of the shipments are fully facilitated. 95% of the shipments are going through RMS.
मीटिंग म्हणजे इटली नाहीये ते डायरेक्ट पोर्ट अथॉरिटीची डायरेक्ट
notifications. Also, there are designated nodal officers throughout the India.
There's a disturbance. Can you please, other than Vishal Sena, can the others please keep themselves on the mute mode, please?
400-500 लोक येते मीटिंग मध्ये.
Further, the nodal officers have been designated throughout India for expeditious clearance of the COVID-related items. These nodal officers are monitoring all the COVID-related clearances, and they are reporting to the higher authorities with respect to any issue or delay in the clearances or facilitation of the clearances. As far as Mumbai is concerned, there are 3 nodal officers at Air Cargo, Air Customs, New Custom House, and Nhava Sheva. As per the goods which are coming at these places, they can contact these nodal officers 24/7 anytime, and for their grievances or for any information. The other nodal officer list is on the CBIC website, which I have also put in this slide. There are 20 nodal officers, and they are being coordinating with officers who are in the board, and Mr. Gaurav Masaldan, he is the nodal officer for all customs matters. So any one of these nodal officers can be contacted with respect to their inputs at their respective jurisdictions. So the facilitation and grievance handling of COVID-related matters is taken at various levels by the CBIC. One is by the, as already told, the nodal officers are already monitoring day and night all the shipments. Then other than that, the Twitter handle also is being used for interacting with the importers or those who have sent their shipments, and if they are stuck anywhere in courier or cargo, and also for providing them information with respect to rate of duty and other procedures. Other than that, the CBIC website and Air Cargo website, all the facilitation measures are provided for the guidance. Also, the Google form for pre-intimation, as already told, is available to to bring to our notice their clearances with respect to COVID. This is the flyer of the CBIC regarding all the help desks available, whether it is toll-free number or email service or through Google Form. These are some of the FAQs which were recently with respect to IGST exemption. They were issued. So it is basically the first was with respect to whether the ad hoc exemption order is available in case the importer buys the goods from abroad, but the same is meant for free distribution. So basically, if someone CSR funds want to import something and they are making remittances or buying from other countries, then though they are distributing here freely, they will have to pay the IGST. Both the import should be free of cost as well as the distribution should be free. So second is whether the imports may be imported at a place within jurisdiction of state A and goods may be for distribution in state as well as B. So which authority shall issue the certificate? So in this case, both can issue the certificate. This will be dealt very liberally and not very in a restricted manner. So in whatever permutation combination, the nodal officers are competent to issue the certificate. And the same be accepted. Third one is whether there is a specified format. The format is already on the CBIC website. What will be the procedure for certification of the statement containing details of this is after the reviews of the goods which have been distributed. So that is up to the nodal authority and they are at liberty to devise their own suitable mechanism for certification of the statement. The authority issue certificate to entity who will submit same before concerned customs authority at the time of clearance. Is this understanding correct? Yes. As per this, the state authority will authorize import entity and the importer will produce the said authorization before the customs at the time of clearance. So basically, before the clearance, the certificate should be available. As of now, I am getting all the certificates by email from the development commissioner who is the nodal officer. So based on that, once the certificate is available, then only the goods will be released or the IGST exemption will be provided. Is the certificate to be issued consignment wise or to be issued multiple imports? Both options are available even if multiple clearances from same exporter and country is coming, then one-time certificate also can be given and the quantity will be debited or consignment wise also is possible. Also now the board has given the option of giving undertaking which was last year available. The same has been extended this year till 30th June. These are some of the notifications concerning COVID relief measures, notifications, circulars, which I have put.
एक बार आप काम करो ना, आप इसी पे ना I'll tell you, just reply on this mail.
Thank you.